Tee. We're going to have an old-fashioned kick-off, Petro. You'd be proud of this. Yeah. No tee, so he dug a hole in the ground and off we go. And so first use of the ball will go to the East Coast Sharks in those light blue and white colours. And they're running from left to right on your screens. And first couple of hit-ups safely engaged. And the defence is willing, Petro, which is a good sign from both sides.
Nice and willing, getting plenty of numbers in that tackle already. Seen great energy so far in this early moments of this match.
Loose carry and the ball comes free, and now the Brisbane Blacks are on the attack and they're in a perfect position to open the scoring. Remembering we started a little bit late in this match, so we've only had a minute or so of play. And the Brisbane Blacks deep on the attack, and they rumble it forward through the number 14. That's Cairo Tabau-Cody. He takes it to within 5 metres of the line. They're stretched across the ground here at the Albany Creek Crushers. And first try of the morning comes out wide, and it was well done along the back line, and it was just a matter of numbers.
That's it, yeah. Wonderful bit of play, and they had some great structure there. Nice spread, nice and wide there on that right-hand side. And I think that was a try there to Burrung Shillingsworth there, number 2 for the Brisbane Blacks.
You had a choice of 2 wingers, and you went the 2, and it ended up being the 5.
It was the 5, was it? Yeah, we go. Casey
good.
Towney. Good on you, Casey Towney. But, yeah, great bit of play there. And, you know, we've seen that in the previous game, you know, that the strength of your forward pack is everything. And we're able to get some great momentum there for their outside men. And, yeah, wonderful bit of work there from Casey Towney to finish off a wonderful backline bit of movement there. So Brisbane Blacks on the scoreboard nice and early.
Did you see the smile from the kicker, Kyle Riley? Because the young ball boy raced out with a kicking tee. Because that was going to be an almighty kick as it is, with a kicking tee, without a kicking tee. Holy dooly. Gets a good strike on it, but hasn't quite got the carry. So the score remains at 4-0 to the Brisbane Blacks.
Mate, I miss the old days of the Golden Circle pineapple can full of sand.
Being run on by an enthusiastic ball boy who's wearing his favourite team's jersey, and that team might not even be playing
That's exactly
it. Wonderful. This carnival has been fantastic from day one. From the educational sessions early on for the youngsters and everyone involved, congratulations. Yeah, as I say, we're into day 4, and Petro, it's been a learning curve both on and off the field.
Yeah, most definitely. And, you know, I love the fact that, you know, we have so many wonderful contributors too, wonderful sponsors that get behind carnivals like this. And, you know, big shout out to Deadly Choices too. All their staff have been amazing here at 6 a.m. every morning, setting up and making sure that these grounds are pristine, ready for the day's action.
Yeah, and speaking of, you know, the team behind the team, let's say thanks to our partners here at the Queensland Murray Carnival, Arthur Beetson Foundation, as the Brisbane Blacks go on the attack again, a little dart from dummy half. Queensland Aboriginal and Islander Health Council, Institute for Urban Indigenous Health. Ball kicked down, looking for field position at the moment, and they do well, and beats the first tackle and darts back inside. Nice bit of play here, trying to get as far as he can upfield. Deadly Choices, of course, which was mentioned by Petro. Also, the Queensland University of Technology, Breast Screen Queensland, Moreton Bay Regional Council. And we say thanks to them because they're our hosts here in this beautiful part of Queensland. Department of Education Queensland, Containers for Change, Trad McLean and the boys and girls from Containers for Change, who were here on the first couple of days telling the youngsters or encouraging the youngsters to get involved, look after the environment, because it is their planet ultimately. And of course, NITV, the NRL, the QRL, all of them make this happen. Petro?
Yeah, wonderful contributors, as I mentioned before, and we're so grateful for their support because, again, to host carnivals of this nature where we've got young ones right throughout our senior players, men, women, boys and girls. It's great to see. As we see, unfortunately, a mistake there by the Brisbane Blacks.
while we've got a break in play, why don't we talk about the vaccination hub, where we're encouraging folks who haven't been vaccinated to come along and get vaccinated, because there's some great incentive, and you're wearing one of those incentives. There's tickets to the Storm and Panthers, or Souths and Manly, of course, history, those games being played at Suncorp Stadium this weekend. A team shirt, you've got the Retro Broncos one on. That's lunch, or if you come along and, do your thing for COVID.
That's
Lovely skill here.
Beautiful
as they go wide. Can he beat the cover defence? Flicks it back inside because he was going into touch, but there's a mistake from the Brisbane Blacks, and they'll get possession again.
Yeah, it was unfortunate. It was a great little offload there from the halfback, Josh Pabai, who exposed the Brisbane Blacks down here on this their right-hand edge here, and unfortunately that offload handed off to Nathan Sagigi, who again, great run down the sideline, but a little offload on the inside unfortunately found the turf.
Sharks now, their first real attacking chance, and they come wide to the 14. He takes off, he seizes the moment, and cover defence comes across and takes him the second line, puts him down. But they are within striking distance of the goal. Do they come up in defence? No, they don't. And there's the equaliser.
I think it was number 3, Denzel Briscoe.
Let's see if your eyes are good this time. Yeah, here he is. He goes into dummy half. He sees the defence is a bit at 6s and 7s, and he says, "I'll make my way." See, Marker turned his back.
That's it. Yeah, good bit of play there from Briscoe. And again, he's been fantastic so far in these early stages of this match. Is very dangerous with the ball, but notice that the Brisbane Blacks, as you said, Marker with his, ultimate sin there, with his back towards the attacking team, and Briscoe too strong, just dives over for a well-earned 4-pointer.
Chance to put his side in front. The kicker is Jordan Lewis. He wastes little time. Goes through his setup. One more look at the posts. In he comes. No, misses.
We were speaking about the breeze there in the last few days. I mean, talk about a breeze. It was unbelievable, wasn't it? That wind, and the kickers, the young kickers, those earlier games had to contend with a lot there. But unfortunately for us today, the wind has died down a bit. So kickers
some valuable lessons learnt if you were kickers, even in general play. If you put the ball too high, it got carried over the sideline. If you kicked deep and you had it with the wind, then, the ball went dead. You offered 6 again for your team.
And Bowen, I'm going to do a bit of an interchange here. I'm going to bring on
sub you off. Brenton Bowen will join in. And we'll keep the commentary going as the Brisbane Blacks get an opportunity deep in attacking position. Welcome, Brenton.
Yeah, good to be here. The first day of the Opens, the women's and men's.
Here's a big bullocking run from the 13, heading towards the line. He's pulled down just short. Dart from dummy half. That's how one of the tries so far, 2 tries, 1 apiece, have been scored. The referee says you held up. You need to go back 10 metres and play the ball. And the Brisbane Blacks now take a settler, trying to organise. What have they got? Well, they ping it wide this time. They look to do it. And they go too wide, and it's picked up. And big fella out here, the edge forward, he takes it up. And there's a loose carry, and the ball comes loose. And these are the first outings for our open teams, Brenton. So they'll be feeling their way around. They'll be getting used to combinations again. And
yeah, that's right. Like I said, in the first game for the day and for the next 3 days. So they'll be trying to get some combinations together. Moving forward, so a lot of these players probably played together, but a lot of these players haven't played together as well. Yep. So like I said, you're trying to get those combinations together and trying to hone their skills in for the.
He's thrown it into him, and here's a turnover, and it's in a really good position for the Brisbane Blacks as they move towards the line, and the defence has been very good, the scramble defence. Well, the referee says you pushed him down in the play of the ball. It's a penalty. You're going to take the tap now. The Brisbane Blacks on the attack. The big fella, number 11, Seamus Malone. He's a couple of metres out and they're right underneath the sticks. And again, they go to the far side and a little bit of momentum lost there. And he stands in the tackle. He gets it back. And a lovely long ball out here. And it's on out wide if they can get the ball out wide. They may not have to. Oh, that's a barnstorming run. I think it's Seamus Malone.
How about the strength?
Yeah. He had two blokes hanging off him and still kept the legs pumping and headed to the line. .13, short ball, yes, to the 11. Seamus Malone, and yeah, great strength. Geez, they're hard on the kickers. They have one attempt and then they give it to somebody else.
That's probably a one of those things where we'll try it every kicker for this game.
Or if you're the skipper, you say you can have the ones out on the touchline. I'll have the ones under the sticks.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Errol Chapman with the conversion attempt. Put his side out by another 2 points. Normally, I'd say relatively simple, but we've had fluky wins for the first 3 days. Not too bad today, and a beautiful left-footed strike, and that's a conversion to Chapman.
That's it. Like you said, the left foot. There's not many of us around. So.
Oh, yeah. Is that why you've got the big grin?
Yeah, that's right. Doing it for the lefties.
I was a front rower, never allowed to kick, so no hope. Even though I was left-handed and left-footed.
But actually, I've seen a few of the juniors, like the front rowers kicking the ball, like chip and chase, and then we gather. I was like,
and really good exponents of it.
Yeah.
In fact, Mark Turkey said they're out of the front rowers. Oh, no, he inducted them into the front rowers club because he is president of the front rowers club, and he said all those skills that the front rowers possess, and a lot of the front rowers, he reckons, are halfbacks in front rower bodies.
Yeah, that's right. I think exactly right. Like wishing they were halfback.
And now some of the hard yards up the middle by the Brisbane Blacks, and again a missed possession. They can't take advantage of it, the East Coast Sharks, but they'll get possession from the scrum.
We keep saying it. The cage killers, especially after the points, you want to try and complete that set after you score the points, and get the team back into just some possession and field position as well.
Well, they did it pretty good for the first couple, and then they got a bit adventurous and it all broke down. And now here's the East Coast. They've got an opportunity out wide, and he's flirting with the sideline and does a good job to stay in field. 24, that is. Come back inside now. Tackle taken. 10 metres inside opposition territory. Rumble up the ground. Oh, good contact. That's a good hit. The crowd responds, giving them urgings along, and they move forward again. Jamie Geyer comes out to the number 8, and he rumbles it forward. And now they're about to get to the last play. Oh, referee says you grabbed him around the head. You can't do that. Penalty.
Especially on the last tackle as well.
Oh, yeah. Here's their chance. And the big fella says, I'll go again. Oh, and unfortunately, the contact, and he drops the ball as he gets absolutely hammered. That was a good line from the Brisbane Blacks.
Yeah, that's right.
Plenty of time in this game. We're only, 18 minutes into the first half. Two teams still really feeling each other out. And quite often, Brenton, in these sort of games, it's a piece of individual brilliance that separates the teams because they're still working out combinations and defensive lines and things like that. And all of a sudden, bang, a bit of speed or a swerve like a run like this can change momentum in a game. There it is. Quick play the ball, dart out. They're inside the 10, or the markers are not square. Penalty, piggyback down the other end.
Yeah, a lot of these teams will have sort of individual brilliance, and obviously with the with the team sport, you're going to have to have your team around you to build a platform and have those sort of quick dummy half runs or a bit of shape outside.
Absolutely. There's a good run from the 14. Cairo to Bauer Cody. Woomy. Followed up by the hooker. He chases off, takes off Mikey Morris. They've gone back to their simple plays. One off, taking the ball up. Try scorer Seamus Malone. He moves it forward. Now, again, they go down the far side. Not held. The referee says you can get up and promote the football. He does just that, and there's a great charge, and he keeps the legs pumping, heading towards the line. And
just short.
The Sharks get there in numbers and pull him down just short of the line. Oh, that'll be a penalty. You can't do that. Can't push him over as he's trying to play the ball, even if you're frustrated.
Even if you're frustrated.
Referees don't take that into consideration, do they?
No. And it just puts your team in, another set of 6.
Yeah. He did a good job. It was going to be last tackle, and wow, there's a good tackle. Sharks looking to hold them out. The Brisbane Blacks go really wide, and it's come all the way out to the winger, and he beats his opposition, and he goes in to score.
Like I said, that silly error just cost their team.
Big.
Yeah,
Big.
Just put them under pressure, and the Brisbane Blacks made them pay, and their winger went in the corner to score.
Absolutely. And then he brings it around, does his kicker a favour, and says, "Here, I'll make it a bit easier."
Yeah. And I think that's a good thing with the wingers these days. They try to, instead of going into the corner, if they're not under pressure, they try and bring it in as close to the post to give the kicker a better chance at getting the extra 2 points.
You get another good look at fellow lefty here, Brenton.
Yes.
A pretty good strike in the first kick, I must say, his first attempt.
Well, this one's a bit tricky, but we'll see how we go.
Oh, I'm not good at weights and measures, but he looks like he's got it pointing towards the right-hand upright. And if he hooks this, this is going to go way right. See if I'm any good a judge. No.
Oh, he got it.
He done. He did get. No, I meant no. I'm not a good judge. Wasn't the conversion successful? And all of a sudden, the score balloons out to 16 points to 4. And if you're the East Coast Sharks coach, you'd be very disappointed that, that little bit of niggle on the try line, a bit of frustration, pushing him over as he was playing the ball, that cost them 6 points in the end.
Yeah.
Kick off nice and deep, high, plenty of hang time. Now the Brisbane Blacks charge it up the middle. That's a good return of the football. Again, another one of the middle forwards says, "I'll take it up." They come wide. 3 plays down, and they're heading towards the halfway line. 10 metres inside their own territory. 14, charges again. Cairo. Gets it to almost the 50. Little chip over the top, looking for a runner, chaser. Well, gets an awkward bounce, the winger. Let's play on. 6 to go now. And the Brisbane Blacks are on the attack, and they've got a full set of 6 down this end. Danger signs for the Sharks. Look at them fanned out this side here, Brenton. Ominous. They go for another settler. Big number 20 charges forward. He's put down just short of the try line, and one of the Sharks has gone down in back play, and he looks in all sorts of trouble. There's been an indiscretion in the play of the ball, and they get another set, and we know what happened when this occurred last time.
Yeah, that's right. Just puts their team under pressure again, and especially on their trial line. So the Brisbane Blacks will get another set of 6, and we'll see how we go.
They've had all the possession for the last couple of minutes, and now they're looking to go wide, and the halfback saw a little gap. Just short. Gee, must be millimetres short. They come out to this left-hand side again, and a big, long pass, and what was wrong with the touch? He didn't catch it and go over in the corner.
Yeah, it was too long there.
He was unmarked, the touch judge. Didn't quite hit the target, that pass, but right option, just wrong execution.
Yeah.
And this will happen in the early stages. You're a bit rusty.
Yeah, that's right. And the Sharks get a reprieve, and they come out of their end now.
And they'd love a penalty here and a piggyback set of 6. Get up the other end, put a bit of pressure on the Brisbane Blacks. It's a good charge, not held. Oh no, referee said you better go back. You were held. The 8 there. Finacia. Oh, he's not held, and he helps himself to a few extra yards. Referee said there was a shoulder charge. You can't do that, as the hooter sounds in the background. So,
we get one more play.
Yeah, the Sharks have got one play. Let's see what they can do. What do you do in this situation? He's gone for as much distance as he can, but doesn't go into touch. Brisbane Blacks are not interested in any more and attacking from way into their own danger zone. They say, let's call it oranges. And at half-time, it is the Brisbane Blacks leading the East Coast Sharks by 16 points to 4.
The magic of soap and water can't be underestimated. Wash your hands regularly to avoid the spread of germs. If you have any sanitizer at hand, even better. Personal hygiene is a daily choice.
Is your health on track? A free and simple health check at your participating health service clinic is an easy way to keep you at 100%. Make a deadly choice. Book in now and yarn to a GP. You'll also score this deadly cowboy shirt.
Is your health currently on track? A free and simple health check at your participating health service
is an easy way to keep you at 100%.
Make a deadly choice. Book in now and yarn to a GP.
You'll also score this
Deadly Firebird shirt.
In the Kundalini language, Multhana means coming together to help each other.
At Multhana, we provide cleaning, landscaping and property services across southeast Queensland.
We are committed to increasing Indigenous employment across the state.
There are many opportunities to gain meaningful employment, be part of a great team and have a pathway to success for your career. So call Multhana today on 1800 685877 or visit our website at multhana.com.au.
Growing up in North Queensland, I didn't really know what I wanted to become. I just knew it involved empowering my people.
Hi, I'm Kat Durante and I'm studying a Law and Business double degree here at QUT.
Choosing the right uni for me was a no-brainer. I wanted real-world learning and overseas experiences that would help shape my future. QUT took me to Bangkok for a UN Peace Summit that opened my eyes to global human rights issues. I also went on an amazing study exchange in Canada, where I learned so much and made incredible friendships. Here at home, QUT helped me prepare for a paid internship at a city law firm while I'm still studying.
Life is busy, but it's good. My heart is set on becoming a human rights lawyer that makes a real difference. And QUT is helping me get there. QUT is the university for the real world.
Welcome back to our coverage of the Queensland Murray Carnival 2020, and it's half-time in this match between the Brisbane Blacks and the East Coast Sharks, 16 points to 4. And joining me in commentary is Brenton Bowen as the teams take a well-deserved break. The Blacks have been doing things right, and unfortunately for the Sharks, they've made a few mistakes, costly mistakes, and one of them on the line cost them 6 points.
Yeah, that's right. You know, they had 1 out of 2 cost them 2 points,
Yep.
but yeah, cost them points. Yeah, I dare say that the Sharks need to be the first ones to score this half to give them a chance to sort of come back. So.
Is there any truth to the rumour that you've been requested by a number of teams to play, and you're considering lacing the boots again and getting out there?
Yeah, I have been requested, but I was like, oh no, I'm only good for one game.
Just pick a good game that you want to play.
Yeah, the grand final.
One good game, yeah. You need me for the grand final, I'm available.
Yeah.
I'm not doing any lead-up work.
Yeah, just put me on the team sheet, on the run-on team. And, yeah.
And if you absolutely need me,
Yeah,
I'll
that's right,
come on
come
as
on.
a sub in the grand final.
The super sub.
Oh, well played. I like it. I like it. And look, the teams are about to rejoin us here on Field 2. And just a quick reminder, if you want to watch any of the other matches from around the grounds, download the app, QMC 2020 from the App Store, and watch on murrayrugbyleague.net. You can get vision of the other games and scores. You don't get the expert commentary that will be supplied to us by Brenton Bowen and the likes of Petro Sivanasiva, Tyrone Roberts. You know, we've got a cast of thousands. Tamika Upton, just to name a few.
Yeah, that's right.
And you guys have got important roles as well, not just as our co-commentators and give us some expert insight into the greatest game of all, but as Deadly Choices ambassadors. Tell us what you do.
Yeah. So a lot of our work is to do with the school programs and, going to interact with the elders at the elders' games. And, it's a really, I suppose, a good sort of community role. And all of our ambassadors love our roles as well.
Fantastic. You do some great work in the community. And we've seen some wonderful engagement over the first three and a half days of this carnival, haven't we?
Yeah, that's right. The community's come out in forces, and a lot of our community members have got their jabs, their first jabs, and or their second jab. So, it's really good to see everyone out and about.
Which is a good segue into the vaccination hub that is here. You can get tickets to the Storm and Panthers or Souths and Manly. You get a team shirt, and I see there's retro North Sydney ones. There's a Maroons one. Petro's wearing his retro Broncos one, and lunch as well, just by coming in here and doing your bit to keep the community safe through COVID times.
Yeah, that's right. It's a really good incentive, and I was just talking to the few of the members. It's about $400 worth of of prizes, and you get it sort of
How
up
good
front.
is that?
Yeah.
Up front. And if you haven't got a mate, you and I are available to go to the prelim finals at Suncorp over the weekend. Early stages, what's happened here? Didn't play the ball correctly. Wow. Well, that's a warning signal. You must put your foot on the ball as it's coming between your legs. That is the correct way to play the ball.
And the ref never miss anything, so.
That's a penalty you rarely see these days, and there's been some atrocities in the NRL, and they just roll the ball. And the foot, I must say the foot goes close to it, but it doesn't actually make contact.
No, that's right.
And the rule is you have to make contact. Well, Brisbane Blacks now with an opportunity early in the second half. They currently lead by 16 points to 4. That was the score at the break. And again, some of these charges are really good. Robert Freeman with that one. This guy's been good, the number 11. Seamus Maloney scored a barnstorming try in the first half. go to the far side and back on the inside. Another one of the big forwards comes up the middle and beats one, beats two, and now there's two around him, and he gets towards the line. The referee's gone right down to have a look. What's he going to come up with? Held up.
Held up.
Wow. Good strength there. I thought he was going to put that up against the goal pads, and score himself a try. What about this footwork here? Oh, and the finish.
Nice.
Errol Chapman.
The
That was outstanding.
The lefty.
Yeah, there's his left foot step. That's why he's so good off the left foot. Watch this. Bang.
Bang.
And in and away. He could turn on a dime, and he's not a little fella.
No.
He's well built, and wow, showed great set of wheels there to little in and away and a jink, and bang, the defence was left lying on the ground grasping at thin air.
Yeah, and that's the thing with these players these days. They've really good footwork, especially in the outside backs, and well, not just the outside backs. The across the board, like the forwards, like the the back rows and the front rows, and
it's become a very a game for those guys who are got good footwork, nimble. The lumbering front rower. Particularly in the NRL these days, there's not much room for them, is there? They're sort of becoming dinosaurs in our great game.
Yeah, that's right. Because you look at blokes like Payne House, and he's got really great footwork. He's got a really good motor.
Oh, and he's a machine. He could go for 80 minutes, and his work rate is outstanding. And he's so mobile for a big man. Here's a conversion from the sideline, absolute ripper. It matches his try. Well done. Errol Chapman with the conversion from the sideline of his own try, and we are now at 22 points to 4. There's the try again, Brenton. You can't help but be impressed.
He did well.
Good kick too. I see your eyes light up because you're in a lefty and you're thinking, wow, look at that.
Well, it's on the preferred side for a lefty as well. So.
He made good contact. It looked good. It was a moment it left his boot. And they're in complete control at the moment. Brisbane Blacks, 22 points to 4. They do this well, I must say, Brenton, the rumble up the field.
Yeah.
Their big men know exactly what to do. Here's another good charge from the 16, Frankie McGregor-Weasel. The player down. And the referee calls a halt to proceedings. Player welfare, we've seen it so far and we'll see it for the rest of the week, has been paramount. And we say thanks very much to the medics who are out here. We've got medics on each of the fields. We've got our own casualty ward down there in the clubhouse.
Yeah.
And they've been kept quite busy, but they've been very professional, and player welfare has been well and truly looked after.
Yeah, that's right. And, they obviously do a really good job, and without them, all these, again, like with our sponsors, a lot of these games don't go ahead. And, it's really good to see. And
let's face it, the players, they get bumps and bruises throughout the carnival. They got to back up sometimes a couple of games in one day, and 3 or 4 games throughout the carnival, sometimes 5, depending on if you make the finals, grand final. There's a lot of football to be played, and they got to keep these players healthy and fit.
Yeah, that's right. I've just seen, one of these, a couple of these blokes that played in the under 18 sort of backing up for the men's. So.
Playing in the open division.
Yeah.
And we've been lucky because we called a number of those games. I called a number of under 16 games, and the talent that is there when these guys fill out their bodies is going to be enormous.
Because a lot of these players are halfway there, like they're tall and they just need to fill out, and once they fill out, they'd be unstoppable.
Little fullback, outside back called Dion Sandow Walsh. Keep an eye out for his name. He was in the under-16s probables and possibles yesterday. Scored a couple of tries. Scored 4 in one game that we called, actually, during the round robin series. And, he was outstanding yesterday. And You know, when these guys strengthen and gain some more footy now, so they'll be really, really good to watch. Ooh. Could have been dangerous, but was averted. The Brisbane Blacks now on the final tackle. They decide to put it up and say, good luck with that. Oh, bad bounce for him. Oh, and he passes it to an opposition player who was trying to come back on side. Oh, he said, thanks very much.
Yeah.
Saved me running back into position. Right. All right, let's see what the East Coast Sharks can do here. They seem to have been starved of possession in the latter part of the first half and early in the second. Got an opportunity here. This bloke's good on his feet, the number 8. Tyson Financia. The 3 backs it up with a good charge. And
he's like a strong player.
Yeah. Denzel Briscoe, he scored their only try. Come wide and they go to the far side and there's an opportunity out wide and they down in the tackle, and this is the final one, and they're weighing up their options and come back inside, or they're going to decide to run it. He takes on the line, and he's successful. Well, he was weighing up his options, Ewan Mayru, and all of a sudden, a gap appeared, and he accelerated, showed a lot of power, and over he went.
Yeah, again, like we were talking about with, you know, the footwork of the big guys, like, you know, like it was, you know, back in my day, there was non-existent, but now, these days, they're all over it, like, you know, footwork at the line and then crosses over for a try.
Good effort, that. The final tackle, they were expecting a little grubber or a chip or something, and he said, no, I'll have a go.
Yeah.
Backed himself.
Backed himself and got over.
Jordan Lewis now with the attempted conversion. Both touchies got their flags up, so that is successful. And score now 22 points to 10 in favour of the Brisbane Blacks. But that'll give the Sharks a bit of confidence.
Yeah, that's right. The Sharks needed that try so to keep them in the game.
Still time. There's only 2 converted tries in it, and there's 14 minutes to go. Ball boy runs in the kicking tee. We've had a bit of old school kicking off here earlier. We had one of the players did the old put your heel into the ground, make a little bit of a divot and put the ball down and kick it as it's standing end on end. Oh, that took me back some time. Well, here's a good run. That's good momentum now. The Sharks are inching towards the halfway line, and they follow it up with another good run, and they're into enemy territory now. Ball back on the inside. There's a caller forward, and the referee, slow call, or I think he got a call from the touchy who said, yeah, I think that's gone forward. So it's a turnover.
Yeah.
And that's been the difference between the two sides, just, you know, not respecting the ball enough at various times, and just the execution not quite as slick as the Brisbane Blacks.
No, that's right. And, you know, and then also just pushing the pass when it's not, you know, not needed. You know, just run the ball up and get tackle and make a quick play the ball and then, you know, go again.
Brisbane Blacks in possession. Well, that's a good run. Plenty of speed, and then backs it up with some twisting, turning. The referee says you pushed him back down when he was trying to play the ball. Can't do that. Penalty. They'll appreciate this, the Brisbane Blacks. Don't want to let their opposition score back-to-back points and concede momentum in the game. Here's their opportunity for more points. Punch it up the middle. Couple of settlers. The big engine room has been willing, I must say. Defence holds firm at this stage. Come in. Oh, someone's run right off the line quickly to try and shut that down. And come up. That'll be a crusher, yeah. It's unlucky.
You see with the crusher, a lot of the time it's just accidental.
Yeah.
Obviously, you have to get that part of the game, get that part of the out of our game.
Oh, I think he's gone on his own and lost it. Oh. Took the tap and charged towards the line. It's Cairo Tabuai. So it'll be a scrum and feed to the Sharks. If you've just joined us, thank you very much. Don't forget you can download the app from QMC 2020 from the App Store. Watch on murrayrugbyleague.net. Go to the other grounds. Cheer on your mob if they're playing elsewhere, or if not, you can sit back and listen to the commentary and the expert commentary from Brenton Bowen and the likes. Brenton, 10 minutes to go. What do you do here? Hail Mary time? Throw it around a bit? Oh, you got to put it in the touch first. Oh, that's a costly error. That is a coach killer, that one.
Yeah.
Look, I suppose his team's down by 12 and he thought, I've got to get as much ground as I can. But first and foremost, you got to make sure you put it into touch.
Yeah, that's right. Also, he just kicked it.
Yeah. Here's a good dart from the winger for 5. Casey Towney. Now the Brisbane Blacks. One more score, you'd think they iced that. 12, he's been strong today. Aidan Mailer. Big long ball from dummy up. Another long cutout right out here into the centres. Ball goes backwards, says the referee. Oh, good, strong defensive effort there. The edge forward. Now the little 21 darts from dummy half. Picks up a few more metres and they go the short side again, but it's been intercepted and the referee says you're offside. More pressure for the Tigers.
On the last tackle.
Yeah.
Coach killer. But then, again, with the Sharks, they're doing, the efforts there. They're always efforts, never a question.
How hard is it not to show emotion to your teammates when it's a 5th tackle and one of your mates out wide gives away a penalty and you think, oh my God.
Yeah, a lot of the players would just put their heads down.
Yeah.
But I think at this stage of the game, they have to, lift their heads up and then go again and try and keep them out.
Stay positive, perhaps fire up in defence and look for a turnover and get that pill back. Here, this could be the opportunity. Oh, referee says knock back. No, knock on now.
Maybe this is their chance.
Yeah, get to the scrum, get possession back. Mount a bit of pressure. Again, while we've got a scrum forming, we'd like to acknowledge our Murray Carnival partners, the Arthur Beetson Foundation, Queensland Aboriginal and Islander Health Council, the Institute for Urban Indigenous Health and Deadly Choices. Just a few of them. They make carnivals like this possible. And help promote vital messages in the community, and they're going to put him into touch. It's good defence in the end.
They do all the right things on that short side. There's quick hands, got to overlap, and then the winger did all he could just to stay in the field. But the defence from the Brisbane Blacks just took him over there.
Was good, wasn't it?
Yeah,
They came across in cover in numbers and forced a change. Oh. Fence in the play, the ball. Piggyback downfield now. for the Brisbane Blacks, and the skipper's coming up and saying to the referee, what's going on here? Elijah Gagai, a famous name in rugby league. Gagai. And here come the Brisbane Blacks charging onto the ball. Like the look of this young man. Robert Freeman, he's been busy. Backed up by another one of the engine room. Aiden Malia. Now they come wide. Look at back on the inside. Oh, he winds up. A good initial contact from the 9. Easel. Really good contact. Little chip in, but it goes straight to an opponent, and he brushes off the little halfback and says, oh, I'll help myself to a few more metres. Oh, outstanding run for the big man. Looks for support. He gets it out wide to the 24, and he's away. They won't catch him. What a hit back from nothing. They've exploded away to score. He tries to bring it around under the posts, and that's a handy 4-pointer.
Nice. And yeah, like we said, the efforts in both teams are always there. And you just need one or two things to go their way. And yeah, we see the barnstorming run by the number 8. And this gets rid of 2, 3.
Tyson Finecia. Yeah. He's good.
He's got a bit of speed about him as well. And then he tips on. And the 23 can't stop him.
He can motor for a big man.
Oh, 24, sorry.
Yeah. He looks around and says, where are you, fellas?
Who's with me? Didn't need the
I'm sure he wanted a little back to come up next to him and say, here, you run to the line. I will save my legs 20 or 30 metres. Important conversion, because if he gets this, you're a converter try out.
Yeah, that's right. And we've got, what's that, another 10 minutes to go?
5.
5.
Don't give him too much.
Oh, yeah.
you made the Brisbane Blacks very nervous then. This is Jordan Lewis, successful with his last conversion attempt. Can he get another? Yes, he can. And all of a sudden, we have a 6-point ball game. And interestingly enough, momentum is with the Sharks. They've scored the last 2 tries, converted them both.
That's right, they have.
And the pressure's back on the Brisbane Blacks.
I think it's really important that the Sharks complete this set and get some good field position and put the pressure back on the Brisbane Blacks.
In your playing days, how much did you feel pressure, even though you're in front and time is starting to run out, but they're within striking distance? Did you look over your shoulder?
Yeah, always did. Because there's always a chance that a lot of these teams will have go back to the individual brilliance.
Yep.
A lot of teams got maybe 1 or 2 people that can pull anything out of nothing and get their team.
Yeah. Blacks concede a penalty here. All of a sudden they piggyback down. 6 to go. We've got a full set now, and they're pushing up towards the 10-metre mark. Again, good footwork. Bumps and spins and still going. Now the message comes from the sideline here. From the Sharks, hold it. Now they come across here. This guy was instrumental in the last try, and again he bumps off one. He gets it to the 24. He's in open space again, uses his pace and power, and gets across for a second, and is bringing it right around underneath the posts.
Wow.
What about that?
Oh, it gives it off to the 6.
The 6 has officially got the try.
Yeah, the 6.
I'm putting it in the book already. That's Lewis. He scored the conversion, so he'll be happy with that. He gets a try and a conversion if he can pop this one over, and we'll have level scores.
One of the easiest tries he could score.
Well. Did you ever get any gimmies like that during your career? And the Lewis conversion is successful, and it is a tied ball game, 22 points apiece.
Yeah, no, I didn't actually. Wish I did. would have looked really good against my my try scoring.
Thanks, mate.
Mate. Yeah, I'll take that one.
Oh, well, you remember the old Minties moments when something went really wrong in the old days? They used to have a Minties moment, which was something goes horribly wrong. Could you imagine if he dropped it?
Oh,
The guy, all he's got to do is put the ball down, but he's dropped it. Oh dear. Sharks have got a bit of momentum, and they've got about 60 seconds. So this probably their last use of the football. What do you say as a coach here? Do you say, let it sing, have a go? Yeah. Oh, there's a good ball back. 13, he's been good. He dances, beats one, beats two. Now the cover comes in. They put him to ground 10 metres in his own side of halfway. Got a couple of tackles left. Oh, commentators curse.
Yeah, I think the ball just got caught up in the play of the ball. The fellow that was playing the ball. Yeah.
Well, have they got an opportunity here, the Brisbane Blacks, to snatch this, or are we looking at a draw? It's 22 points apiece at the moment. East Coast Sharks want to defend here as the full-time siren goes and the referee says, we'll call it time, and that was